Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, last time, I think I finally finished the character. I just got some things I want to touch up, as always. There tends to always be a couple of things. So it is time to go in and do the foreground. So foreground is going to include the little bit of fog I got going on there. I'm still not quite sure how to feel about it. I'm still not quite sure what to do with it either. That's always the hard part. And these rocks, and of course, bats. Now the bats back here, I think I'm gonna have to do it like the same time with the castle, and these ones I might actually just move to a background layer. Probably doesn't make much sense to leave them on the foreground now that I think about it, but it was convenient when I was getting everything set up, so I just did it like that. And yeah, so I probably will spend a little bit of time just working out the background composition. Just because, well, I mean, it's going to affect the path of the bats that are coming into the foreground, right? I want them to all look like they're flying away from that tower back there, and that tower's got to move, too. Her hair is in the way, so I've got some poking around with the composition to be doing. But first, corrections. For the most part, I think things are looking pretty okay. I just didn't like the red part right here. I want to touch it up. That part specifically, the rest of the red parts look fine. It's just right there. And then I think the contrast in her hair over here especially, a little bit less so down here, mostly just over here, is too strong. So I want to tone it back a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and fix this red part. I'm not actually sure if I even needed to get the color, but I did just in case. I just mostly think it needs to be blended in a little bit better. So that is what I will be doing. Oh, because I am on the wrong layer, that would do it. And somehow it did not pick my color for me. Very rude. I guess I wasn't on a brush. Oh wait, this isn't light. What am I doing? Where's the red? There it is. So I just blurred the totally wrong thing. Okay, we're backing up here. No wonder it still looked a little wonky. Okay. Okay. I gotta wake up a little bit here. I slept okay, and I've been up for a while. But for whatever reason, my brain just feels a little bit wonky today. It happens. Maybe not the best time to be making some big decisions, but I think I can do it anyway. So here we go. Just gonna have a slight wonky brain decision making here. It'll be great. Sure, nothing bad can happen there. Alright. It's okay. Just means that I'll take my time and make sure I'm really happy with things. Okay, so that's better. Now I will lower the contrast on the hair. And because I don't trust myself right now, I'm actually going to tone it back with a new layer rather than just doing it on the same one. So I'm just gonna grab the base color here. I'll go ahead and keep the lights all on still. And then I'm just gonna gently paint over this. Just lower the contrast a little bit. I didn't like that, so I undid it, but I might have to tone back some of the lighting too. We'll see. But at least doing it like this, I can always go back in with my eraser and bring back some of the contrast. Like I said, over here a bit less so. I think it's okay for the bottom of this hair to be bright due to its proximity to this magic circle. some of these I will pull back just a little. Okay. I just felt like it was bringing a little bit too much attention to itself, and now I think it looks much better. Just as a comparison. I might bring a little bit more light back over there, but yeah, that is working much better. It's always hard for me because I am a person that loves contrast way too much, and sometimes it causes problems for me. But I felt like I felt like some of these bright lights were just taking away from the focal points near her face. So I wanted to tone it back just a little. Just a little. Okay. I would really like to up the contrast on her face somehow, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. I'm still finding myself a little bit unsatisfied. Alright, well, let me revisit my lighting layers. And see if I can get something a little nicer there, although, I don't know. I'm checking with the curves layer I made a while back. Just kind of going back and forth there and seeing if it kind of fixes my problems. Kinda? Okay, so that might just be a color correction issue. Okay, okay. I'll revisit the face later when I have a little bit more stuff done, just to make sure that I'm not kind of overdoing it, and because like if I can fix it with just a minor curves adjustment like this, that's way better than just trying to pull all kinds of shenanigans. And it might just be that I need to blend the hair a bit more. Maybe it's the hair that's taking away. Maybe it's some other lighting through here or like around her chest area that's taking away from it. I don't know. But I think now would be a good time to figure out the rest of the composition before I get too deep into that. Because, like, it's not that far off. And since it's not that far off, I'm just like, okay, I'll hold off. Alright, first things first. I'm gonna put the bats that are in the background in my background group instead of my foreground group. It made sense a long time ago to have it like this. It no longer does. So I'm gonna take those out and drop them to the bottom. Man, I have a lot of layers here. I am gonna have to... I am going to have to collapse some stuff here just so I don't have to scroll so dang much to get anything done. There. Okay, but since I've largely finished Runie, I can collapse her layers and it'll be fine. I ideally shouldn't have to be doing too much with her right now. Alright. So let's say those foreground rocks here. I want to tilt them just a little bit. Just because right now I feel like it's not tilting the same amount as the rest here. And then I just need to fill in the gaps. Okay, and then I do want to keep this area pretty blurry. It's the foreground. By making it blurry, I bring more focus onto her. Sometimes I keep asking myself if I want to make a bigger rock over here or something, but it's a tough choice. I might. That's why I said I gotta kind of finalize the rest of the composition here because some stuff has changed since my initial sketch. My initial sketch had her a little bit smaller on the screen, and it's okay. It's for the best. This composition will look better. I just have to fix everything else around. Okay, and before I can do that, I'm gonna go ahead and fix the castle here. So I have the castle split up into a few layers here. So I got that one, and that one. Also the moat technically, but I don't think I necessarily need to rotate that. Let's find out. And I am just gonna mirror all of these layers. Okay. I'll go ahead and just put them all into a group. And if I don't want to flip the mode, I'll just flip it back. Okay, definitely don't want to flip the moat, but I can flip it back, and I do like the castle this way. I just need to move some of these towers so that they're in slightly better spots. This needs to change color. I'm gonna go put my water back. There's somewhere around there, right? Well, it sure is now. Okay. Yeah, that rock was in the water. Do I want it to be? I'm gonna hide the foreground for a second here while I figure out what's going on with the castle. As always, just trying to do some things to make my life a little bit more straightforward. Because now I get to make all these decisions fresh. Okay. I'll leave it there for now. I'm probably gonna mess with it a little bit, but I want to... I want to break up this moon a little bit. And that was why I had this tower there before, but then I realized this tower is neat, and I don't want it to be completely buried in her hair. So that's just gonna be a thing over there. And so now all these little spires and things, well, they gotta find new places to live. So let's see, I think I like this here, and then this bit can come over here, block off the moon, and in fact, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So this way the moon isn't just like a complete perfect circle. I think you need to be a little bit fatter just so it's not following the exact same shape as the moon. And all the lighting I put in there is like totally wrong now because I flipped it, but that's fine. I was going to get rid of it anyway. That was just placeholder while I was figuring some stuff out. Okay, so we'll have this bit of castle like there. I think all that is good. I kind of want another tower right there. Do I have one? Do I have one that I can just steal, or do I just need to draw a quick doodle here? Okay, I gotta draw a quick doodle here. Let's see, I think I'll do it on the mid castle bit. So that'll be this one. There's gonna be like some little shapes here, kind of giving the impression of small towers and maybe other small buildings here. Let's make this nice and spiry, but also covering the spots it needs to cover. So I'm just gonna give it a little kind of triangle roof there. Kind of like that, and then I want another kind of big tower over here. This is where I might go bust out my Gothic architecture references again. Gives me an excuse to look at some really nice stuff. Maybe something a little more square here with just some little pointy bits going like this. Okay. I dig it. I do, but these are like the same size and it's not working for me. So I think I actually want to get rid of this bit here. Make this one thin and skinny. I changed my mind. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. And then this back one, gonna make the tallest part a little bit taller. I almost feel like it should have some kind of symbol or structure at the top, but I'm not sure what yet. We're gonna have the big stained glass magic circle on the thing there, so I don't want something like that. Does she have a special symbol here? I guess she's got the little star in her chest. I guess I could also be fancy and make it look like a snake's coiling around it. If she's got those big old snake earrings, I don't know, can I do that while still keeping the kind of design I want there? Sure can. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. We'll get the little snake ahead here. Okay. Yeah, if I make that straight and make it so that it just doesn't quite look like it's falling over, I think that'll be pretty cool. In fact, I think I realized that I have all this tilting the wrong direction just because of changes I had to make. So I better tilt it back this way. So let's get that in. Okay. Now let's see the rest of the castle here. This part needs to be filled in a little. And then if I hide Runie again, let me find the spots that I planned to have show there. Okay. I was like, do I have a drawbridge or something over there? But the answer is probably, but I haven't detailed any of it yet. I think I probably had it in my mind. I just haven't drawn it yet. All right, let me get that slight tilt back in there. And there we go. Okay. So that's already better. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of all the lighting that I've put in for now. Just because it is bothering me a little. And I'm gonna clean up anything that looks like excess striped pixels and stuff like that. I am still really looking forward to drawing this castle. It's gonna be great. I am... But I must resist a little while longer. I want to get the foreground in before I start detailing this too much. I do. It is still not yet time. Anywho, that's fine for now. That'll give me an idea of where certain things are gonna go. Let's see, I think this guy needs just another little thing right here. Just so it doesn't look like it fits too perfectly and where all the other spires. So I'm gonna make it extend a little bit further. It should make it look a little bit more natural. Okay. There we go. I think I'm happy with the castle. Now I get to decide the path of the bats. So we got a bunch back here. I guess I don't really have to move them that much. They can be coming from this part instead of this part. But I still feel kind of obligated to try things. And then I see that this rock is going to have to go. And some other things like that. I guess I'll poke at the boat before I finish off the bats. Might also help to make the castle feel a little bit more distant if I adjust the horizon line a little bit here. I guess something like that works. I might just need a few more little decorations through this area. I guess some of that's going to be covered by the foreground. Maybe I don't. I don't know, man. I will think about it in a second. I think I'm gonna go poke at bats. And these clouds are gonna have to change too, so I'm actually gonna clear this. No, I won't clear the layer. I'm gonna leave them there and leave it wrong so it'll bother me. So this way I remind myself to fix them. I'm gonna do bats. Okay. So I can either have the bats through here, so this way they get to go through the moon and look very cool. Or I could have them coming over from here. And just have some of the bats in the foreground to be looking cool in the moon. The choice is obvious. You gotta have the bats looking cool in the moon. Okay. I am satisfied. I just feel like bats in the moonlight are, like, required. So yeah, I think that their path won't really change much at all. And then here, I want one that's coming closer. So I'm gonna put the big one behind her hair. Just thinking about the shape that I wanted to have. Something like this. No. No. Not quite. I think that the body needs to show a little bit. And it should still feel a little distant. Just closer than the other ones. What do bats look like again? Yeah, they got the little ears going. Or then maybe one more, just... No, I don't want any on that part of her head. So in that case, like here... Okay, I guess it doesn't need more. Anytime I try to add more, it just doesn't look good. So let's put the foreground back, and I will try to figure out the path of the rest of these bats. Okay. This bat is drawn mostly fine. It just needs to be cleaned. So I'm going to make him a little bit bigger. And I kind of wanted to frame her face a little. Yeah, I think a little bit of like a dark spot on that light spot of her chin will bring more attention to her face. And then, I know I just said that the bat is mostly drawn okay, and mostly, yes, that is true. Gonna go ahead and color them like this for now and figure out exactly what I want to do with the color in just a little bit. So I want to change the angle of this bat's body a bit. Because I don't want it to look like he's like flying face first into the ground. That seems extremely dangerous. So instead, I kind of want him to be flying like this way. A little bit toward the viewer, but also this way. And I think that kind of shape for the body will require something a little bit more like... I might need another color here. I have a black here. I could use that. So we'll see the plane here, and his little head will come up. And then he'll have those little ears that I was talking about like this. And he'll have little eyes at some point. I don't really want to draw little eyes right now, so I'll just pretend like they exist. And I'll let him arch his back a little. They have little tails. Man, those guys, they are just so chubby and adorable, man. I guess I'll grab this color for the wings a little. Because I think I'm gonna have his wings go the other way. Which does mean I'm gonna have to move him around a bit again, but that's fine. That's fine if it fixes my posing problems here. Just double checking the shape of the wings. This way I can start trying to understand what I'm doing here. And then we'll see the inside, and it'll be kind of like this. And kind of the same on this side. I think that's accurate. I mean, I think I remember when I was doing this initially, that I really just wanted to keep them black. And that actually does make sense. I'm not actually sure if I like showing the pink. Like, color-wise, I can see why I wanted things to be black. It kept their silhouette a little bit simpler, and added some just like a little bit of a dark shape in the foreground. Whereas like this is quite a lot of contrast. But how does it look if I angle you to be a little bit more over the face like this? So do I like that? Or do I like that? So this is where it's nice to be able to just go back and forth. Yeah, the answer is clear. This is better. Okay. It's all right. It was worth trying out. So in which case, indeed, the back of the wings would be over there. So I'm going to go back to that pattern. Okay. See, that's why I said I could do it either way. I was just testing something. But this is clearly the way to go. And then we have the big blurry wing in the front there, but I'm not sure if I like its location. Like it's a little straight. The path of the bats here. I'm also wondering if I should add like another little wing up there, for example, and some stuff like that. I am thinking about things. I don't think I want any like in front of her like this. I could see one over there too. But I feel like having a full one just out there is a little too much. How do I feel about you? That's why I said I wasn't happy with the Path of the Bats. So I knew I was gonna have to poke at that a little. And these are... no. I don't know, I kind of like something up here, but I'm not quite sure how to make it work. Is it just like that? Just put something in the corner? No, I don't think so. This one I think is good. Okay, I don't think I like anything covering that part. Like I said, I kind of like something covering this part. I guess that might be okay. Just like that. This is one of those big, just intuition things. So I'm just like, man, how do I explain why I like this, but not this? Because frankly, I don't know. Sometimes I think a little bit of art is just a little bit of black magic. And, sometimes you just feel it. Okay, and I actually think this guy's okay. But he needs to be, like, 10 times bigger. Yeah. Something like this should be good once I properly draw the bat there. It's always a shame to cover up some of the stuff that I drew there, but it is for the best. It definitely looks better like this. And then once I blur these guys, I'll go ahead and just add the filter layer and make Krita lag again, like it was happening on my other drawing. But it's fine. But yeah, we'll get something like this. This guy, I might make a little bit more in focus. But this is, like, perfect for these other two. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't actually need you in a group. Okay, get out of there. Okay. Now I get to play around with some rocks. Part of me still wants to put a bat over here too, though. I'm just not quite sure how. Okay, I gotta get rid of the filter there. It is lagging everything. There we go. I don't know, does it just this work? No, it just really doesn't, is the thing. Okay, what if I had the bat a little bit more on its side, and we just had, I don't know, a little body flying kind of upward over here. So if I were to put in its little face, it would be kind of like this. What do bats look like again? There we go. There we go. So I don't know, maybe something like that. How does that look? This one needs to be bigger. Which means this one needs to be lower. Or maybe a little bit smaller if I'm going to make that other one bigger. Maybe a little of both. I still want there to be a gap between this bat and the rocks. But I can make him a little bit lower. And I think it's fine for the bats to overlap a little. I definitely don't want any of this bat covering the expression. I just want it to cover a little piece of the chin. But it is forbidden for it to cover any part of her mouth or eyes. Or hand, for that matter. That might be okay. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think that works. And then, I think in the background here, I'm gonna put one more little bat by her head. Where's my bat layer? There it is. So I think I might actually just move this guy. And put that one behind her head instead. And at some point I'm gonna have to refine all these, but right now I'm just trying to figure out their path. And it's easier just to keep them a little bit messy while I do that. Because moving the bats around and then changing my mind and having to redraw them all, well, that would take a while. So I want to figure out the path first. And then I can worry about refining them. Okay, I think this is pretty okay, though. Got some stuff going on. This is too symmetrical, so I need to do something about that. I think it's mostly I just need to change the angle of the other bat. The one that I just put there. Yeah, I think that's a little better. And then let's see, I do think that this bat might be going a little bit too far over. Like, I wanted to cover part of her face there, but I think that is a little bit too much. So this is all just being sculpted based on how I think it looks compositionally. I do not care what bats do in real life. I am putting their wings in the places that suit the picture the best. Okay, and I think that's good. That's good. Okay, bat path decided. I think I'm happy. Now, I want to mess around with these rocks again. Did I want a rock going higher here? I don't know. I kind of like it covering her legs, but I don't like it covering that much of the magic circle is the thing. So I'm getting kind of arguments with myself. So maybe that's a sign it should be more like this, where I just have like a little rock in front of her leg. And then, I don't know, do I like the big rock? It does make this area look a little bit more contained. So I do think I like that. Yeah, I think so. What about on this side? No, I don't think I want the rock on this side. Because, I mean, part of me kind of likes just doing something like that, making it look like you're just peeking through, going somewhere you're not supposed to. But I think I want the rocks to kind of lead back into the castle, because the castle is cool, and I don't want it to block the feeling there. I want eyes to be able to go all the way back here. So that does mean that this guy probably needs to be a little bit higher up here. But not much. And then I'll just re-blur all of this at the end, it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the placeholder bats in there for now. But the bats will be drawn before I perfect these rocks. I just want to make sure that they are covering what they need to cover, and that they are guiding everything where they need the viewer's eyes where they need to be guided, which is, you know, up around here into her and up around here into castle. No, I should probably do that with this bat too, actually. I don't really want you to be stopped there. So let's rotate this guy just a little. We'll let his wing kind of go into the castle. I might even add some pink on this one. We shall see. Okay, but I think that's pretty good. Okay. So this is where I have to ask myself, which part do I work on first? What are you? Okay, you're just more fog. I'm gonna call you more fog. Okay. So one thing, I haven't been entirely happy with the fog because I feel like it is just killing all my contrast here. And I'm not quite sure what to do about it. Because, I mean, fog kind of does that. Do I have... Yeah, I have eerie fog references. And fog does indeed just kind of kill your contrast in real life, too. And if I don't kind of kill the contrast somewhat, it will not look like fog anymore. So I've been debating on what I want to do with that. Because I do kind of like the idea of there being a little bit of a fog. I'm just wondering if this is excessive. Because right now I think it looks a lot better without the fog entirely. I like a little bit of haze at the bottom here, and maybe a little bit through here, and I do feel like it has to overlap her a little bit. But right now I think I might have a bit too much. Okay, rather than erase what, or, you know, just start over, I'm gonna kind of try to be a little bit more deliberate in how I'm placing it here. And try to make some parts that maybe I don't want to be as emphasized a little bit more hazy. No. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm gonna start over. Okay. I'm Gonna actually take a moment to think about how I want to do this. If I am starting over, that means something has gone horribly wrong, so I should take it seriously. Nah. I'm poking around with brushes just for ideas and seeing what happens. But these ones might be a little bit too textured for what I want. I just feel like the airbrush was not quite textured enough. But I think I might actually be the way to go here. Because yeah, these have a little bit of a paper texture. I have to remember what some of these do. I like this for various things, but I don't think it's right here, so you know what? I think airbrush might actually be the answer here. And I want to do one more thing. I'm gonna blur the rocks now. I'm just using the filter mask so that this way I can undo it at any time. And it's very, very convenient, so that this way I can draw it and just immediately see how it will look blurred again. So, yay. I might actually want it blurred slightly less than this. There we go. I wanted to kind of keep its structure so it still looks like a rock. Rocks are hard and stiff, after all. Okay. So what do clouds look like? That's what I gotta ask myself. When it comes down to it, I am just drawing some clouds on the ground. I am just drawing clouds on the ground, and once again I am taking a look at fog and kind of debating what I want to do with it. I don't know, do I literally just... I mean, the hot pink actually was way better than I thought it would be, so... Because, see, when I do it like this, it looks more like a glow from the magic circle, which, you know, it's not terrible, but it's not quite what I'm trying to do. I guess at some point I want to have some power lines going around the circle there, too. I'm not quite sure what I want those to look like. You know what? Let's think about that. What do I want it to look like? Let's think about that for a second. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is something like... It's gonna be like coming toward the viewer. We're gonna have like these lines that are getting like thicker up at the top, but they are... This kind of thing is I always have a bit of hard time wrapping my head around the perspective, because strictly speaking, what's happening, if I were to draw it without any foreshortening, is that we'd have the thick line at the bottom and it'd get thinner as it went up, right? But because it's coming really close to the viewer, I'm wondering, do I make the top part a little bit thinner or thicker? Or does this still look more convincing? Let's find out. Okay. And then I want some around the magic circle down here too. Again, still just doing mostly placeholder. This will eventually start to look a little bit nicer. Okay, and then I'm gonna add just some random stuff here. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Don't worry about it. And then the one on this side, on the foreground, will not get as much. Probably just a little bit, like, here and there. Just because the front of that is a little further away. And now I guess I just take my smudge tool and start making it look like light. I'm gonna start making it look powerful. Okay, I'm gonna do the same to the back, and then I have a couple more things I want to put there as well. But one thing at a time. Let's do this step for the ones in the back now. Oh, that was actually a foreground one. Oops. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do some science with the colors. I'm not quite sure what color I want to use yet. So I'm just gonna try some things. White with the pink outline may be the way to go here. Let's see. On the magic circle, I should have some layer effects on it already. So I'm just gonna copy that. Oh, do I not? Ah, I see. I don't. I just copied it and blurred it. Okay, well that... I should be able to do the same thing. Let's find out. Yeah, that seems alright. And then here I can put just a little bit of the pink color in there. And now let's do the same to the foreground part. Alright, and there was also that one little guy off in the corner that I need to blur. Okay. Oh, and you. Okay, so I wasn't ready to duplicate this. There's multiple that I just totally forgot about. I'm sorry, guys. That's incredibly rude of me. Okay. Let's try that again. Let's get this all colored. And now I will blur it again. Okay. And now I would like to make it shine. That's why I did that part first. So now we're gonna make it really shine. This, I think, will also require a little bit of smudging, just not as much. You know, I swear I was trying something with the fog here, but then stuff happened, and now I'm here, and it's fine. I mean, I'm gonna have to do all this at some point anyway. So I'm not really worried about it, but I'm finding myself a little surprised. I feel like such things happen a lot. Okay, I'm gonna use the textured smudge. Yeah, it's even called that. Blender Textured Soft. Just to add a little bit more interesting stuff here. And now, gotta lock that layer, and I'm gonna grab the pink. And we're gonna brush a few key areas in pink. Should make it look pretty shiny in theory. Let's see, still doesn't quite have the appearance that I want. So, let's see, what do I need in order to achieve that? I don't know. Let's just mess around. Today sounds like a great day for just kind of messing around. There's something I'm looking for. I just don't quite know what it is. But I feel it in my bones. Oh, actually, this isn't bad. If I take a blur to it, it should look pretty good. And then maybe even brush in some pink in there. I don't know, a few more narrow spikes of light coming out. Okay, I feel like I can't see the magic circle very well anymore, so I'm probably going to take some of that back. But I think it's pretty interesting, so I think I'm onto something. I think I'm onto something. It's okay, I know to trust myself when I can tell that something needs to happen, even if I'm not entirely sure what it is. Okay, I can get behind that. Let's do the same for the background here. Oh no, not the magic circle there. There we go. The power! Okay. Just add a little bit more glowiness to all this. And then the part with the marker. Oh yeah, that looks powerful now. It's going somewhere. It's doing stuff. I wouldn't want to be in the middle of all this. That sounds incredibly dangerous. Which is, you know, exactly what I want here, so... Okay, let me see. I kind of want a little bit more marker there on this guy. Not pink, though. Just white. Just plain old white. I felt like the spikes might have been just a little bit too strong, because I thought they looked better once I introduced a little bit more thickness to them there. Okay. Now I just want to brush in a little bit more pink again. Let's see, where'd you go? There you are. Okay. So there we go. Something like that's working for me. So I think I'll leave it there. I think that's fine. I guess I should think about the fog again? That seems like a good idea. Getting sidetracked. Just a matter of, you know, what color do I use for it? I don't know, maybe something in this realm would be okay. And you know what, Mr. Bat? You gotta be a bit bigger. This one here. Okay. And I'll fix the weird tangent there. I fixed one weird tangent to make another of these things happen. It's okay. Alright. So once again, I'm going to attempt to make just a little bit of fog happen here. I'm going to use it to kind of de-emphasize some things that I don't think should be emphasized. And a little bit of light on the bottom of it, I guess. Okay, how's that? I think it's a little dark, but it's doing what it needs to do. I think it's better than it was. Let me get some on like the back of her hair here. Kind of this part of her dress. So we'll just use this to kind of pull things back and making them call a little bit less attention to themselves. These guys, they don't need to be in the spotlight. They're just out there making some things look nice. So we'll make it nice and foggy. I don't know if I like this bat anymore. I don't know if I do. I don't know. Should I just put like a little corner of the wing there? Maybe cover just a slight bit of hair. No, I think I just don't like him. Alas. Goodbye, Mr. Bat. No, but now it feels a little lopsided again. Art is hard. Will I fix it when I draw the castle? I don't think so. I just don't like him anywhere over here anymore. I don't. Because I kind of want some of this water showing. I don't really want it to cover the castle very much, and I can't let it cover the rock. It looks kind of bad when you don't know where that rock ends. And I don't like this rock being covered in black. Maybe up there? This is acceptable. Okay. Yeah, I think this might be okay, and then maybe just a little corner of a wing doing something right here. Why are you not being affected by the filter? Oh, yeah, because I moved some stuff around. Okay. No, all things must be blurred here. Very important. And don't worry, there's just sometimes Krita has a small visual bug there. When it comes to filters and stuff, it's actually right, it just looks weird. But when I save the picture, it'll be fine. Is it okay if I cover the top of that rock? Should I lower this one just a little? No, I think it's better without this one. Okay. Well, we'll just leave the one up there. I think that'll be good. Yeah, and then I could mess with their colors and stuff a bit later. Well, I say a bit later, but it's probably going to be real dang soon, actually. Anyway, back to fog. What was I doing with fog? Okay. Kind of had to remember where I was. I'm still not sure if this is the right color for the fog either. I want the glowy parts of the magic circle to show themselves a little bit better there, so I'm going to take that bit of the fog back. I do think it looks better with a little bit of fog, though. I do. I think it's doing its job. And I think it looks pretty good. It's very subtle, but I mean, you can kind of see the difference here. Down here, I think it's mostly going to be, like, bright white. But it needs something. Stop things from looking too strange there. And this is too thick. The fog there is too thick. I'm gonna be pulling it back a little, but I just needed something for the time being. I think I might actually put the power lines on top of the fog there. Let them kind of shine through the fog a little. Okay, and then I think I just need like a little bit of haziness up here. Mr. Bat, you are in the way from letting me pick colors. Okay. There we go. I do think I need just a little bit up there just so that things don't look quite... So, like, the fog just suddenly stops. Very important for that. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pick a color now. I don't know what color I want it to be. I'm still kind of figuring that out. It's probably going to be somewhere in the reds and purples. That's what I'm assuming, but I'm just going to use my hue saturation. Still sad that you guys can't see the window when I bring it up, but that's what I'm doing right now. That's why you can see the rapid change of colors there. I think right around here is probably pretty good. So that means that I wasn't that far off in the color that I picked. I picked a pretty decent one. I just made it a little bit lighter, it looks like. So I'll try to do that here too. Just a little bit lighter. Okay. Now I kind of want to go back over all this and make it feel kind of cloud-like. In theory. I'm scared, so I'm actually going to duplicate this layer just so I have a backup in case I completely flub this up. I do such things a lot. It makes me a little bit less anxious about painting. So now I'm just kind of going over things in smaller airbrush strokes. And at some point I'll zoom into 100% and render it out properly, but right now I'm just kind of dotting things. And I get the feeling that some of this is going to need to be a little bit smoothed out in order to make it look a little more foggy, but, you know, one thing at a time. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to have to do. So I don't really need to worry. I'll figure it out when I get there. I'll figure it out. Okay, but I think that this is looking pretty alright. Let's see what it looks like when I actually zoom in. This isn't quite 100%, this is 100%, but I think 66 is close enough here and it gives me a little bit... I can see a little bit better here. Let's see what I can do with some of this. This might be a little bit too sharp there, yeah. Oh, actually. I don't know, that might actually work. Let's derp around. Today is a day I mess around with things. I've done a lot of the technical stuff and now I'm just kinda... I don't know, having some fun. Whee! Because I feel like fog doesn't necessarily have to be that technical. Fog is a feeling, as far as I'm concerned. Unless you're trying to, like, draw technical diagrams, odds are you're using the fog for an atmospheric thing. So, fog is the feeling. And I think that this is bringing about that feeling. Let me zoom out and, like, make sure that I'm not just totally messing things up. It's okay. This is why I made a backup. But no, I kind of dig it. It's looking a little bit like water right now, so I will probably have to add in some cloud effects again, but I can do that. I like this. Okay. Well, I'm glad I decided to try something silly today. Life is good. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely have to make this look a little cloudier, but this is cool. I'm gonna duplicate this again. Before I go in and make it look cloudy. Okay, what about you? Will you make things look cloudier again? And then I'm definitely gonna have to take some of this back. This is a bit too prominent. But I do think it has the feel of eerie fog. So I dig it. I do. Alright. Still definitely has to be a bit cloudier though, so let's get my airbrush again and I'll start bringing some clouds back into this. So all I'm really doing is just tapping my tablet. Go tap, 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 tap. And that's making it look cloudy again. That's making it look cloudy again. Still gonna have to kind of go through and render it. I think this will look a little bit too blurry. Okay. So I'm gonna come back down and just, you know, do a little bit of scribbling. And then I'll probably blur some of this, I think. I mean, I just said that it was too blurry, so maybe blurring isn't the way to go, actually. This is how I do distant clouds, though, and it's not quite working for a fog. Like, this honestly looks more convincing as a fog to me. You know, I was having some good luck with the big sponge tool here. Maybe one of these will bring back the last little bits of cloud that I need. I think that looks pretty interesting. Yeah, I think I can live with this, and I think it'll look pretty good once I kind of pare it back a little. So I guess I'll start doing that. A little bit magical, a little bit creepy. And once again, I'm gonna zoom in and make sure everything is to my liking. And I do think that this needs just a little bit of blur to it. Not as much as I've been putting on a lot of things, but a little bit. Like, yeah, like right around there. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so how do I feel about this? I'm gonna put a little bit less around the most powerful parts of the magic circle. I will let them shine through. Definitely a little less around her arm. And then some spots that are coming a little further forward, like this flap of her dress here. I think I'll put a little bit less there. I feel like there's a little bit too much just right here for some reason. Okay, then I want to check the color just one more time. Make sure that this is the color that I want for the final. But otherwise, I do think that's about all I plan to do for fog here. Yeah. Okay. So I think that just a small layer of fog there. I think that's pretty good. Okay. So I think the last part of the foreground, we got rocks, we got bats. Let's do some bats. So because they're going to be so thoroughly blurred like this, and you're not really going to see that much, I'm not going to detail them very strongly. I just want to add a little bit of impression of stuff. So I want a few highlights and stuff. Where's my swatch? I think I'm just going to use like the same colors as I did on her clothes over here. So I would like a little bit of a highlight color going across the tops of the wings. Just to add a little bit of structure to them. And I will clean up their edges just a little. But again, it's not something I want to spend that much time on. This is honestly detailed enough. And then I just got to make sure that everything's in a good spot. Well, we'll give him his little ears, and I do think that, you know, it's got little pink eyes there. We actually see this one's eyes, so I will put them in. We'll let his little ears kind of shine through there, because they are very cute. And I'll make him look round and blobby, so I'll give him a little highlight on a couple of spots. This one's just going to be like that. And then this guy, I will give him his highlights too. So just kind of like that. I think that's about all the detail they need, really. They're just going to be blurred into oblivion. And yeah, I think that gives plenty of impression of the bat, especially, you know, this guy with the eyes there. I think I actually want to blur them slightly less. Okay, that's not true. Basically what I want is I want this guy blurred slightly less, but this guy I'm gonna blur more manually. Okay, so I think that's a little better. And then I'm just going to blur this guy more manually. Make sure I have the right layer selected. It'd be unfortunate if I didn't. Not that much. There we go. Make it nice and out of focus. Okay. So yeah, I think that's the best. I told you it'd be nice and easy. That's the joy of being able to blur your foreground elements. You don't have to try very hard. Okay. So let's do some rocks. What do I want to do for these rocks? I do have some good colors on from my background rocks here. So I'll go ahead and steal some. And since these rocks are also being very much blurred, I, once again, do not have to work very hard on shaping things. I'm just going to make it a little bit rougher. So this way it looks a little bit more rock-like. Actually, I think this side's fine. And then I'll take some of the lighter colors here and just kind of brush them on. Where I think some light hits. Carve out some areas that are getting hit by this light here. Just kind of like this. Nice, simple stuff. I'm just putting in some color variation there. And I do think that I will also brush in a little bit of kind of super light pink here on the brightest points. As you can see, I'm not being neat at all. I'm just scribbling and calling it good. Because then this happens, and ta-da, it just looks like rock. It's like magic. Okay, I think I want a few more spots, just kind of going back here. I'm gonna keep the blur on now, just forever. Just to, you know, add a little bit more visual interest. Good stuff like that. I wasn't quite satisfied. Not quite. It's okay. It'll get there. Okay. And that is the foreground done. Yay. And you know, with the foreground done, you know what that means, right? I get to draw a castle. Yay! Because, you know, I keep saying it's not yet time, but you know what? I think it is time now. Oh man, actually, no, that's not quite true. I want to adjust the lighting on the bats a little bit. I do. I want to adjust the lightings on the bat just a little here. Oops, I have it set to erase, not white. I do hate it when Krita doesn't render that correctly in blur filters like that, but oh well. So I do feel obligated to give them just a little bit of the bright, shiny rim light too. It'll make everything make a little bit more sense, I think. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I'm happier. Okay. Anything else I want to do? I'm thinking about it. But I don't think so. I really do think it might be about time. I think I can finally draw a castle. Oh man. I have been waiting for this. I have been waiting for so long. Okay. Thinking about how I want to handle this. Alright, I'm gonna go look at... It is time! It is finally time! So I'm gonna go look at my architecture references and remind myself what I actually plan to do. Because, man, it has been a while since I drew that castle and just got an idea of what I was actually gonna draw here. Because like 90% of this is going to be silhouette, but I do want to have some little bits. I'm okay, I think. For some reason, allergies just hit me like a truck, like, I don't know, 4 hours ago, and I have been unusually tired, and I just feel like my nose is all stuffed up, but anytime I clear it, it doesn't really help, so... Just one of those things. Does feel like allergies though, so I don't think I'm sick, fortunately. It just makes me a bit lower energy. But I get to draw a castle, so who cares? Okay. So just taking a look, reminding myself of the patterns and stuff that I plan to put in. Yeah. Yeah, nothing matters anymore. I got a castle to draw. Okay. So I am gonna have to switch back and forth to turning the foreground on and off because I want to keep it on while I'm drawing. But in order to get colors, I'll need to turn it off. So that'll be interesting, and I can't really keep the swatch on because I don't know, all the stuff's in the way. I guess I can move it around. But we'll go put it on her for now. But I don't want to detail the areas that are, like, covered by bats, for example. So... okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go add my colors to the swatch here. I'll put them on her hair. That'll be nice and visible. Since there's also dark. I don't even know if this is the right color, though. Like, this is fine. I think this is a decent color. Actually, you know, I should figure out the colors before I do anything else. That's probably smart. Because I was looking at that and I was like, yeah, that's a decent color, but then I realized I wanted it to be a little bit darker, and I think it's too red. So I should actually make sure that I like what I got here before I start detailing things. So I think I want this to be more in purple range. Like kind of a warm red purple, yes, but still more purple. Right now I do think it is a little bit too red. Yeah, and this one was hard because I don't want it to, like, blend into the background too much. I still want it to be a little bit visible. But just due to the nature of atmospheric perspective, it is going to get closer to the colors that I use back there. I just gotta do some things to make it stand out. I guess I could put some stronger highlights on the side on this one in order to make it work. And of course he's gonna have some neat stuff on him, so that will also help, I think. I think that's about right, and it should look okay when I put some highlights on. I guess I should test that before I leave. That's probably strong. That's fine. I'll take the strong color and tone it down. Let's hide the foregrounds, this way I can get accurate colors. So I think that this should be fine. Let's see, I do have the layer locked, right? I do. Okay. I can get them a little bit more toward the color that I would like them to be. Okay, yeah, I think that'll work. I'll do the same on all of them, just to make sure that this is indeed what I would like to do. I don't quite remember how I drew all this, so... And it's all very distant, so we will get just little things like this, where everything just kind of hits the side of the buildings. And this is still too strong, but that's okay. Over here is gonna get like a lot. See, he's just there, messing around in the moon. I'll even put like a little window there or something. There's a lot of Gothic cathedrals have like windows like that. Ah. Fly in my face, man. Okay. Okay, so yeah, something like that should work. And once again, I'm gonna tone back the light just a little bit. I actually like the color that I managed to get right here, so I'm gonna see if I can just get that color on there through all these places rather than kind of guessing. Okay, there we go. And one more layer. Where you got like big guard towers and cool stuff. I love castles. Castles are great. Moving this one to the side a little bit so it doesn't bleed into the previous layer. Okay, and that should be all the things here. Guess there's another little, like, spire bit over there. And I should let it hit the top here a little bit more. Okay, and then I can add any windows or things that I think would work here. But, yes. Let's see, let me go make sure my foreground is back on and hide the swatch. Make sure it still works with all the things. I think this guy needs to be slightly lighter. Actually, I think all of them might need to be slightly lighter. Like, I know half the point is for them to blend in to the background a little bit, but that's real close. That is real close. I should do the forward part first. And then I can adjust the other two accordingly. Okay, it's like I don't want them to be too contrasty since it is supposed to be so far into the background. So yeah, I think something like that should work. Now that I have colors picked, let's go ahead and stick them on the swatch. And let's see, I have some clouds there, so I'm gonna hide those. Just to make sure I get accurate colors here. I am on the wrong layer. That's fine. And I do like the highlight I got there, so this will be good. All of these are pretty similar, but So hopefully I'll be able to tell the difference, you know, next time I have to work on this, because I doubt I'm going to finish this in a day. I'd actually be kind of impressed if I was able to. Stretch. Okay. Okay, how do I want to do this? Oh, that is a question. Alright, well, I'll start with some just basic smoothing, going to 100% and start smoothing things out. So I got my color here, and this will be my highlight, and I see that these were actually triangles. I might have to, like, invert the background. Oh, did I get the wrong color? Like, where did this color come from? I must have. Let me see. Did I get the right one? No, I got the right one. Okay. I guess it must just be a little bit of fog covering it. Okay, fair enough. Okay, and so I can see... Okay, I can see pretty decently there. Okay, there we go. Got rid of all the dark things, making it hard to see. And I'm not going to worry that much about the lights that I put down, because at the distance that I was drawing this at, there was no way I was going to get them right. So they are guidelines. They were there to make sure that this would work compositionally. And it's also pretty important that I get this straight. So, technically I have everything at a slight angle, but that's hard to draw, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and draw things perfectly straight. It's going to be just perfectly straight. And then I'll tilt it at the end. Okay, so... Gonna, like, cut off things over here. This is one of those things that I probably don't have to be super precise about, but I kind of want to be. I think it'll be fun and interesting, so here we go. I will be as precise as I want to be. So this one, I'm actually going to copy the other spire here, so I'm going to go ahead and draw him first. In my head, this is like a guardhouse, and there's going to be like a drawbridge down here, which is why I drew this over there. And there will be some interior details and whatnot. Not quite sure what I want them to look like yet, but that's fine. I will probably go do some reference staring in a while. We'll see how much time I have. This is the only one where I have some idea of what the interior is going to look like. There's just going to be this big old fancy window there. And a lot of her... stream overlay. She's like in a library, so I was picturing this being a big old fancy library. And if you're gonna have a nice fancy library to do some nice reading in, you better have a nice window. Otherwise it's not a fancy library, it's just a library. Gotta have some natural light for proper reading. Not that it looks like this place gets that much natural light, but... I guess the moonlight is a natural light. Alright, so today I'm gonna continue to just kinda chill out and derp around. It's always nice when I can kinda derp around with drawings. After 4 days of Inktober, just having to go hard to make sure that I actually finish the drawings, it's like, yes. I get to draw fun things. Okay. So like I said, I just wanted to duplicate this and move it over. Unfortunately, I will have to clean up the side that was off screen, but that's okay. So I figured that this is a nice little fancy guard tower. This is probably where they like store their weapons and or sleep or something. I don't know, man. Okay. And then I do have most of this side pretty straight already. So I'm gonna trust what the me of 5 minutes ago did. And just kind of leave it like that. And here, I wanted some little flatter ramparts there. So I'll try to get those nice and flat. Since this is so far in the background, the silhouette is like the only thing that really matters here, so I'm just doing my best to break it up a little bit and keep it interesting. Another one of those cases where being cool is more important than making sense. And since that this is all gonna be silhouette anyway, I'm not worried about making it look too three-dimensional or anything. Like, if you look at buildings really, really far away, you don't tend to really be able to make out the various planes and sides or anything, so it's fine if this looks a little bit more two-dimensional. Plus, it's easier to draw that way, so that's a plus. It's like, she is the real star of the show. Even though I really wanted to draw the castle, I still want to keep all the attention on Runie. So this is just to make the background here a little bit more interesting. I still don't want it to attract too much attention. I don't know what that is, but it looks cool, so that's why it gets to stay. Oh, alright. And then it looks like I probably need a little bit more going out through here, so let's find that spot. And I will put just another little thing here. Just so it doesn't look like it just suddenly stops. Okay. In true me fashion, I do think I will be worrying about the outside of just the entire thing before I start worrying about the lights and everything inside. Okay, and I'll add another little roof here, I guess. Little spire here. Just a little one. Let's see. That roof. I don't know if I like it. So I'm gonna go stare at some pictures again. Remind myself how the really, really ominous ones look and try to draw that. Okay. It's okay. It was a vague idea here. I'm going to make this this spire just a little bit shorter, and then we'll add a few more out on the side here. No. Just the one. Or the two, rather. I was saying just the one because I was thinking in terms of making it symmetrical. That's where I will add them. I'm just not happy with the relative straightness of all this. So I want to get that. And then Gothic architecture doesn't have a lot of conal roofs that are longer than the thing that they're sitting on. So I want to be true to that. And then they also often have windows that go like clean through the building. So I'll put a couple of those in there. See, this is why I occasionally just take a break to go look at a few more pictures, just to make sure that I am getting some of the more iconic things in there, because it can be hard to remember, even if I'm drawing something a little bit more symbolic and a little bit less realistic. I still want to make sure that I got those big shapes in there, because it'll make it easier to tell what this is supposed to be. And here, I just felt like the triangle there was a bit off center. So I'm trying to get that back in there. And I guess just in terms of layers here, the outer part I was picturing of like the castle walls. And then this inner part I'm picturing as more like where people live. I call it the village in my head. So I'm keeping more a lot in lines of castles and cathedrals when designing this part, whereas on the outer part it was very much more just a wall. So I'm just making those adjustments now. I'll let a few little spines come out of this guy. It'll make him look more evil. I better get the big shapes in first before I start getting into like little spine details and stuff. I want to put a little bit of extra detail on this one, because when it comes to the castle, like this is the main thing, gotta be the main thing of the castle. That's why he gets a special light. So anything in this area will get just a little bit more detail. So I might even add a little bit more on this guy. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's put some windows on him. We'll make this a proper fancy guard tower. Oh no, I can't use that color. I have to get it from over here. Cannot trust it with the foreground on. So that's the idea there. You want to conserve your detail somewhat. And make sure that you're actually putting it in places where it won't detract from the rest of the picture. That's why I keep saying Runie is the main character here, so everything in the picture serves to support her. So if anything distracts from her, it is bad and must be annihilated. No questions asked. Oh, shoot. I picked from the bad spot again. Gotta pick from the swatch, very important. What other kinds of things can I do here? But yeah, and then with the castle, I'm just putting a few things here and there to make it cool. I just want to make sure it's also cool. I feel like that's important too. And so the most important part of the castle here is just here. So anything that would detract from here, I want to keep a little bit. I don't want it to be too much. But at the same time, since there's getting more detail in general, I want to make sure that everything else around it has a proper amount of detail. So we'll add some, like, spiny structures here. I don't think those ones look good. I think the other ones are fine, though. And then some of these things might get a few extra patterns here and there. I haven't completely decided yet. Okay, now this area is just a complete mess. So that'll be interesting. Let's see what I got here. It's okay. This is why I gotta smooth everything out first. Before I start figuring out any further details. And I also kind of want to give the impression that there's lots and lots of buildings here, not just the ones we see necessarily. Okay, hold on. I had a bad color while drawing those. Okay. So, I don't know. I'm just putting in some vague shapes here and there. These being the same height is absolutely not okay. So I'm gonna shrink this guy down a little bit. And I think it's fine for these to be different heights on the different sides. It just means that there's like another building here. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Just trying to make this reasonably straight. I don't think it has to be perfectly straight. I think it's fine for things to be a little bit crooked, but I'm doing my best. I want this to stick out beyond the hair just a little. You can't really see it, but I don't know. I think it'll make a difference. Alright, now this mountain of just random spikes. What do I do with you? I don't think I have to do that much special or anything. I just have to make them neat, but I'm staring at this and I'm just like, oh god. Oh no. But no, I shouldn't procrastinate and just do the stuff over in the corner. I gotta get this part. This part is important. I'll add another little 3-spire structure to this, I think. And fortunately, I can just kind of make stuff up. The highlights are highly distracting right now, so I'm actually going to kill them. Just entirely. It's okay. They were excellent proof of concept, and now it is time for them to leave. We will call them back when they are needed again. But that is not now. So I'll go ahead and leave a little flat gap between these groups of spires. I think that's fine. And this one, it almost looks like I drew as a pair, and I think it looks cool, so I'm gonna keep that. It probably wasn't entirely intentional, but that's fine. It doesn't have to be. So this one is getting significantly thicker. I think that's okay. I feel like this one honestly demands a window. So I'm gonna go put a little window at the top there. I don't think this one demands a window, so I won't put it there. And then we'll just have another one kind of sticking out of him over here. And I think that's fine. And this one's kind of doing something interesting, so I'm going to keep it like that. I'm just going to make it like a tower sticking out there. Another thing that I don't think I drew intentionally, but it's cool, so it gets to stay. There we go. I don't think you'd actually want to build a castle like this, but as always, it's fine. It's got that fantasy princess vibe. Alright, and thus, I think this has been tamed. Huzzah. See, I swear at the top of my brain, I told you it wasn't going to be that bad. It's fine. You worry too much. Oh, are you not part of this layer? What are you from? Are you part of the... Oh, I see. Okay, well, I don't think this needs to be here. Alright. Just had some stuff going on a different layer, and I think it was unnecessary. So this continues further out here, because this is the one that kind of connects over to the moon. So I still got a bit more to draw, even though we don't see it for a little while. I'm not going to be too particular about what's going on here. I think this is fine. And I think it's fine to have another little thing there. Alright. So over here now. It's okay. It's almost there. It's almost clean. And then I get to kind of mess around with a bunch of details, and I think this looks cool, so I'm going to keep it like this. Like, come on, isn't that neat? Just this kind of little structure there. When it comes to stuff like this, it's like what my hand is just making random shapes. But sometimes my hand is really smart and it makes really cool stuff. And I'm just like, oh yes, we will keep that. Sometimes hands are just full of great ideas. And then it's just up to me and the rest of my brain to kind of take those random patterns that my hands thought were cool and turn them into something a little more finished. Okay, there we go. It's gonna look pretty neat once the bats are in too. And once again, I think I'm going to kill the highlights because they are a bit distracting. And I will go ahead and add them back when it is convenient. I just want this part to be a little straighter here. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be another area where the castle's going to get a little bit more detail. Not here, but here. Because this is right by her face. Look, I could even get them in the same frame. Even though I'm zoomed into 200%. So they are quite close. So I will make sure to give this guy some extra detail when it comes time to draw him proper. Trying to get these to be about the same distance from each other. But I got another little tower there, kind of throwing me off. But I kind of want to keep this part here, because I think it looks interesting. I don't want it to go that high, so I guess it'll have to go there. Okay. I just want to make sure that things go either through or are far away from each strand of hair. Because otherwise it just, I don't know, it doesn't look very good. It'll be more clear that this is background elements if they don't overlap quite so strongly. Alright. Let's see, I think I want you to go just a little bit higher. And now I can kind of shape some of this. I'm not worried about the bats for the time being. Probably should have drawn them first, but I don't think it matters. In fact, I am so unconcerned with the bats that I am just gonna straight up hide them. I can move them around as I please. I never really properly composed them. There we go, and... Phew. I cannot draw straight lines anymore. There we go. That's close enough. Maybe not exactly straight, but it is close enough. I want it a little shorter, though. There we go. Alright, now I just gotta do the same to the other side. Somewhere around there, I think. I'm gonna make it a little longer just so I can shave off the top and get the nice triangle shape of the roof that I want. Without going below the hair there. There we go. Okay. 2 layers! Done! 1 more to go, and the last one is small. Ah! I need a quick stretch here. My arm's locking up a little. It's probably why I can't draw straight lines, because I cannot draw from my elbow. Because the arm is like, no. There we go! Okay. Now then, where was I? Okay, last one. I want to turn on some of my layers again. Actually, I changed my mind. No, I don't. I want to make sure I can see. I forgot that I turned them off so I could actually see what I was doing, and seeing what I'm doing seems kind of important, to be honest. Okay. So I'm gonna keep my slight impression of my window here. I might actually move this to another layer. Yeah, I think I will, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna just clear everything. And then I'm going to take this color, make it a little bit more purple, a little bit darker. Not a lot, I don't want a lot of contrast. And I'm just gonna put a circle there for now, marking about roughly how big I want it to be. I'm mostly paying attention to where it would overlap on the castle down there to determine the size. I'm basically ignoring everything on the current layer that it's supposed to be on. Okay. I'm not sure if that's the right color, but that's roughly where I want it to be. But yes, I was basically ignoring what I had before because, well, I'm in a refinement stage. This is where I get everything to actually look right. Everything before was placeholder. So I wanted to refine this based on how I thought it should look rather than what I had before. And you can see here, I'm actually getting rid of a bunch of stuff because I want to round out the shape of this. It's like most Gothic architecture is very, very angular, so I'm debating with myself, do I actually want it to be like that? I don't think I do. Okay, I changed my mind. Instead, we're gonna make it boxy. I'm gonna make it boxy. Let's see, I think I want it to be a little bit closer to the window there. And don't worry, I'm just erasing parts to determine where I want it to be and roughly how thick and far away from the window it should be. So let's see, here, I think I want it to be about this far. Okay, that doesn't quite work out with what I drew here, so I'm going to make it a little thicker than I otherwise would. Just so it overlaps this a little bit more nicely. Okay. And I'll do the same on the other side, try to get about the same distance away. And on this side, I think I wanted to go between these parts here. There we go. Gotta zoom in and get that a little bit smoother. This one I'm having to construct a little bit more. Okay. And then from there, I'm gonna get the stuff that's going on top. I'm gonna worry about that first. I know what I want to do with those, but I gotta get the middle one first. Okay. So the middle one is gonna have a part that kind of comes up like this. Everything here getting erased, it's fine. It'll be easier to draw this way, trust me. I don't have to salvage what I had before, I just need to get it to look the way that I actually want it to look. Okay, so I'm gonna have a wider area at the bottom. There's gonna be some decorations here. And by the way, I actually don't like this color for the window. It doesn't matter what color it is at the moment. I will fix it once I'm happy with the structure that I have. And I want this part to be almost the same thickness as the window. I think it should be a little bit thinner, but not much. I think that's pretty good. I occasionally go and look at the architecture just to make sure I'm doing it right. But I'm happy that you guys will finally get to see the castle that has been sitting in my heart for the past 20 episodes. As opposed to just all the brief placeholder stuff I put down to kind of get a proof of concept. But this is roughly how it looked in my mind's eye. I just haven't been able to draw it. I've had to resist because it is not yet time. Okay, and then I want the big spire on the top. You know what? Screw it. I'm using the line tool. This one I want to be particular. This part is like is good. So like this, we'll send it almost all the way to the top. I'll make it pointy. And now I can do that thing where I wrap the snake around. That part maybe not in my heart the past 20 episodes. That I made up today. But nonetheless, it's very cool, so I wanted to make sure I do it right. I like snakes. Snakes are great. I'm always sad that video games want you to murder them en masse. Because they're so cute. Okay. There we go. And now I can start putting in some of the other things. Once again, I think I'm just going to use the line tool and be lazy about it. Okay, so one of them is covered by snake. That is fine. No, that one has to be thicker than that. Way thicker than that. Maybe not that thick, but... No, thicker than that. Thicker than that. That's good. I did not mean to let go yet. Or does it go higher? No, it definitely does not go higher than this part of the roof, the thickest part of the roof. I want to do the same for the other side, but first I gotta get rid of this part. I know, right? I'm so happy. It's always nice when it is finally time. Alright, let me take another look at reference here. Okay. Just so I'm not drawing one specific building, I'm like combining effects from 3 different ones. And this is the kind of stuff I'm seeing. Okay, and then we got a little bit coming over here. And a smaller one. I'd say the size is alright. You're just sitting there. So it is looking like I will at least be able to finish the castle silhouette today. And then next time, which I believe will be Monday, I can just finish it. I believe I should be able to finish it in 1 session. I believe in myself. Since I already have the structure kind of determined here. Okay. So we got that. That's probably a good half of it. So that's awesome. Okay, and then I need another thick line. So probably up in the 60s, 50s, 60s. Oh, that's actually a little bit too big. Let's try 45 then. That should be good. And this one's going to be a little bit taller. But once again, not quite as tall as the highest small spire there. Okay, that should be about right. And then I just smooth it, and that's a bat, so that's fine right there. Okay. And then through here, I want something resembling ramparts again. Alright, and... yes. Kinda the same, just through here. I think on this one I'll let it go all the way to the end. And I'll just draw some small ones here. That's actually way too tall. There we go, that's better. Okay, and this side's not going to get that. This side, I think I'm going to do something different. Let me think about what I want to do. I think for this side, I'm actually just going to have a little thing kind of come down off the side here. And then down here. And we'll have a little baby spire coming off the top. A little tiny guy. Like this. He's not even going to go very high. He's just going to get lost in the hair there. Okay. And then I think that we need just a few little tiny spines coming out. So no spire here, just little baby spines. Okay. And then I make them pointy. Because unfortunately, the line tool is not good at that. It likes to round the edge. Oh, I need a couple more little baby spines here. I need one, like, right there. Just little tiny guy. Okay. Okay, and I think that's structure. And I'll just take this purple for now because it doesn't matter what color it is, and start putting in some of the other patterns that I see in my head. There's going to be a little thing like this. I actually kind of want to do my best to make it look like how it's actually going to look. Actually, no, that's too low. Because I want to make sure that this line from here is not covered up by anything. There we go. And then just to make sure it's straight, I can take a selection and just cut off the very bottom there. So now I know it is perfectly flat. And then this will get some patterns and stuff in it too. But right now I just want to get the big picture of where it's all going to sit. So this is where it all gets to sit. And I don't think I want this to be too much more complicated. And let's see, there will be a hole where the snake's tail runs. So that'll be something like this. Okay. And then I don't think I want it to be that much more complicated than that. That's going to be where the big decorations are. The rest, I think, will just be smaller things that I do with the light layer. And I get the feeling that this I might have to put into its own little subgroups. This way I can draw the highlights on a different layer, because otherwise I think I will drive myself mad. So I'm going to do that now. Actually, honestly, I should probably do that with all of them. I'm gonna go turn my layers back on now, just to make sure I like things. Okay, yeah, it seems good. I already have all the castle colors saved, so I'm just gonna cover up everything so this way I can start fresh next time. Okay, so there we go. There's castle stuff. I think it looks pretty cool. This is gonna look great once it's a giant magic circle. I'm honestly really excited to draw it. You know, the bad color that it currently is aside. And let's see here. Yeah, I think all the structures are pretty good. I think I need to straighten up just a little bit here. So I'll do that real quick. I don't know, this part, a little crooked. And so some spots will have more detail than others, and that's fine. Okay, anything I want to fix here? I don't think so. I think that this is all good. The location of the bat wing is fine. Foreground still looks good. I guess I'll hide my swatch so I can go and take a look at everything. Yeah, so far so good, I'd say. Okay, and just thinking real quick. I'm probably gonna end up putting a few clouds on the moon there. And And, well, maybe not. It's like there's gonna be bats. I guess I might. I haven't drawn the clouds for the castle yet, that's fine. I think the structure of the castle is good. I actually don't even think the moat looks that bad. I probably won't have to do too much work with him. Yeah, so I guess next time it's just gonna be all castle all the time, and that's gonna be great. So I'm looking forward to being able to put some of the details on the architecture here. I'm gonna have to hold myself back because I know if I don't, I'm just gonna go way too hard and it'll be way too much. It should be fine. Yes, I am looking forward to that. Okay, but yeah, structure looks good. I know what I want to put here. I know what I want to put on all of those and all through here and here. Is there anything else I want to touch real quick today? I feel like the pink here is a little bit too strong, so while that color is accurate, I'm actually going to tone it down just a little. I don't want to completely get rid of it, I just don't want it to be quite so strong. There we go. Maybe even a little bit more. Okay. But no, I think things are okay. I'm still debating about the colors here. I think that they're okay, though. Yeah, I think any stronger and they'd stand out too much. It's like the focus needs to be here, not over here. As much as I want to draw the thing over here, too. Nope, gotta keep the eyes over here. Very important. This is just to make this cooler. Okay. But yeah, I think that's about it. Everything else is looking pretty great. Let me see. I think I might blur the rocks just a little bit more. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah. Well, it's like next time I think I'm probably going to finish probably like 90% of it. After that, it's going to be moat, little bit of rock here. I have the foreground on, right? I do. So that means the fog is here. Am I satisfied with the fog? Oh, it's because the fog is off. No wonder I was like, wait, where's the fog? That would explain it. There we go. Oh yeah, it looks better with the fog now. Moon is textured the way I want. I might put a few more clouds on it, but that's like it. I probably will touch up the clouds here a little, maybe add a few more just down here. Castle needs its own foggy clouds. Yeah, there's not much left to do. The castle is going to be the final big thing that's actually going to require a bunch of attention. So that will be the last really big thing, and then... Man, I might actually finish this soon. Feels weird. Alright, but I do think that this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.